Warfare is a new war movie directed by Alex Garland, who's director of movies like Civil War and Ex Machina, and also directed by Ray Mendoza, who's actually one of the surviving Navy SEALs that this movie is based off of. This movie is based off a very true story. We have a crew of Navy SEALs. This takes place during the Iraq War. They're in this house, they're scouting members of the Taliban, people who may be involved in trying to attack them, may not be. Soon enough, some explosives get thrown into the house they're hiding out in. They get under attack. People start getting seriously hurt in their crew. And now it's about finding a way to get everybody out of here alive, which is a lot easier said than done in the situation that they're in. And this is apparently a very true story. The tagline of this is everything is based off memory, and that's the role that Ray Mendoza plays in his directing of this movie. Everything was based on what he can remember in this. And I think right out the gate, what I'm going to say makes this such a satisfying war movie is how raw and real everything felt. Like, you don't really learn about the backstories of these characters. This is not based off of an individual soldier. This is based off of a team. You don't really know a whole lot about their backstory, what their families are like, what their personal lives were. You also don't really know exactly what the mission is that they're on, what they were set out to do, what they were assigned for in the war. This entire movie revolves around one specific event that affected all of these guys, and it's all just based off of what these soldiers can remember. So as a result, this is a movie that doesn't rely on backstories, as I mentioned. There's not any music in this movie. Nothing's overly dramatized for the sake of a movie. It's all based off what happened in that moment, and this movie does an incredible job of sucking you right into it. Like in the beginning of this movie, when you are hanging out with the soldiers and they're on the sniper and they're looking at certain guys like, he looks suspicious, that person might be okay, but we'll keep an eye on them. Like, your heart's already racing. You feel like you are there. You feel like, okay, something's gonna happen that we're not gonna see coming. I mean, we're gonna expect something to happen, but we're still not prepared for it. And that's when I give this movie a lot of credit, because in pretty much every war movie you see, there are moments where there's a battle going on, there's a mission that needs to be undertaken, or whatever it could be. There are moments where you feel like your heart is beating out of your chest and you're scared out of your mind for the characters. But there are also moments of exposition and, story and, learning about the characters. And that's where you can kind of just like chill and take it easy for a moment. This movie does not have that. You have your heart in your mouth for the entire movie. And again, that's what makes it feel real, because in war, this movie does a really good job of portraying that you do not have time to breathe. You are constantly on your toes, expecting to die. And I want to give a lot of credit to the actors in this movie who play the soldiers. It's not a lot of big names. There's a couple here and there, Will Poulter, Joseph Quinn, but not a whole lot of names that I could remember right out the gate if you told me who they were. But everyone in the movie, I thought, did a really good job. I mean, even in the beginning when, they're maybe on a mission and some of them are acting a little bit silly, or they're hiding in this house trying to see what's maybe going on, and they're cracking some jokes with each other. They're, just, busting each other's balls a little bit. I really like seeing that right there, because it made them feel like a team. It made them feel like a brotherhood, because in war, once you enlist and you are joining this team, you have no choice but to trust each other. Like, you have no choice to become friends, become brothers even, and these are the people that you're gonna fight for. These are the people that you are going to protect. You have no choice but to put your lives in these people's hands, and as a result, you have to form these tight bonds with these guys. But also, when shit really hits the fan and they are under attack and everything's going down and people start getting really fucking hurt, these characters do a great job of channeling that emotion of just being in sheer pain, in panic, in, all right, it's time to lock in, we gotta focus, we gotta figure out what our next step is, because if we don't, people are gonna die. Like, everyone did a really good job of channeling all the different emotions and feelings that you imagine soldiers go through during acts of war. And it is the performance in here that, again, makes you feel like you're part of it. And I mean, there are moments where I was just like, trying to take these deep breaths, trying to bring myself down a little bit, because there are moments you genuinely feel some real anxiety in this movie. Also, I must give serious props to the sound design, the sound editing in this movie. I mean, Alex Garland's no stranger to being great at that. I mean, I raved over how great the sound effects were in Civil War. But I gotta tell you, I think they're even better here. I mean, holy shit. And I saw this movie in IMAX, and I'm so happy that I did, because I gotta tell you, when the guns go off, when a jet flies by, when the tanks roll in and start blowing things up. You feel it. Like, the sound goes right through you. It scares the ever-living shiznit out of you. And again, it makes you feel the gravity of what goes on in the battlefield. It makes you just feel... It makes it all feel real. I mean, there are even moments when, like, a blast has gone off or an explosion has happened and, like, you know, the soldier's hearing's kind of fucked with and tampered with, so it's like, you still see and hear gunshots going off, but you kind of hear it in a faint way a little bit. It's like, it's faint enough to feel like, yeah, you were caught in the explosion as well and you hear what they hear, but it's still powerful enough that you feel like, yep, guns are going off, shit's happening. And I appreciate that in the sense, like, with everything that's going on with the weaponry and the soldiers and everything, like, this movie does a great job of showing everybody, yeah, war is absolute hell. I mean, I have always had the utmost respect for anyone in our country who joins the military, and this movie just reinforces that, because what people go through is fucking insane. It's terrifying, and it's just wild. I feel like that's the overall message that Alex Garland and Ray Mendoza wanted to hammer home with everybody. War is hell, and this movie completely exemplifies why it is. If there are some flaws with this movie, I will say, I think the fact that, you know, we don't get to know the soldiers all that well, it maybe takes a little bit of the emotion out of it when, you know, people get hurt or anything worse might happen to them. It's a little bit of that Dunkirk vibe, where, like, in Dunkirk, you didn't learn a whole lot about the soldiers. Dunkirk was based around an event. This movie's kind of the same deal. But I guess whereas in Dunkirk, throughout that journey, I just felt a little more attached to the soldiers and the characters that were in that. This one, I didn't feel it as much. And maybe it's because this is a shorter movie. It's around an hour and a half, so there's not maybe enough time for you to feel like the characters are maybe going through quite enough to feel super attached to them. And it's also like this. Admittedly, there's not a whole lot of a story going on. I mean, it's a very simple story. These soldiers are in this house. They need to get out of there because they're under attack. And that's really all there is to it. So as a result, I will say, as much as I appreciated this movie and as effective as this fucking movie is, it is admittedly not the type of movie that I will probably rewatch more than once. And that is, I think, a problem that a lot of war movies have. I mean, you look at all-time great war movies like Saving Private Ryan, or even some of the really great ones we've gotten in recent years like 1917. Those are movies that I can rewatch, that I can appreciate more than once, because they have so much going for them, whether it's the acting or the story or, you know, the acts of warfare that were shown that are so effective. This one is just a lot more simple of a movie in what it wanted to do, and it nailed that. But as a result, I just don't think it's the type of movie that I would seek out more than once. It's just the type of movie, like, you experience it once, and that's all you need. So all in all, not to sound corny, but Warfare hit me like an absolute gunshot. I thought the actors all did a great job. I thought they all very well shown what it's like to go through battle and war with your brothers and seeing people lose their lives, lose things that are going to matter to them, like walking away from something that you're never going to be the same from. It's the type of thing that sticks with you, that's for sure. I mean, the sound editing, the sound design is absolutely unbelievable. It really just, it further enhanced what these people went through. It's a simple story. It was simple in execution, but it really drove its point home that war is the worst thing in the world. It's not the type of movie I'll watch more than once, but it's the type of movie that I am very glad I saw. I mean, as of this moment, as of today, this is without question the most effective movie I have seen. And with that, I'm going to give Warfare a 7 out of 10, which makes this one absolutely worth going to the movies for.
All right, come on, hurry up, Brian. I don't want to miss the movie trivia slides before the movie.
See it in IMAX too, for that matter. Spend a little extra, go see it in that format. I'm telling you, you will get the most out of this movie if you see it in that format. Totally gonna be worth it. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.